So you've got an old laptop or an old desktop and it's got Windows 7 on it and you forgot the password to it and now you're trying to figure out how to get into it. That's how you stumbled across this video, right? Well, keep watching and I'm going to show you how to get into that old PC. As a disclaimer, I just want to let you know I'm not responsible for any way in which you choose on how to use this. This is specifically for you to recover your password or change it or get into a computer that you no longer have access to, and it's your computer. So if you're using this for nefarious purposes, that's on you. So here we are on our old computer. This could be something like a laptop that you've had and you haven't been on it in like 2 years because you got a new one, or an old desktop or something like that. And you're trying to get into it because you're wanting to like pull off a lot of old pictures or maybe some baby videos or something like that. And this is what you get. And you just can't get into it. And you're like, oh no, I have lost all this data. Well, don't worry, you haven't lost any of that data, and I'm going to show you how to get into it now. So what this process is going to entail is, from here, we're going to tell the computer to reboot. And then when it's in the middle of loading Windows 7, we're going to power it off and force it off. You can do this either by pulling the power cable, or you can do it by holding down the power button. But essentially, we're going to do that in the middle of Windows 7 loading. And then after we power it off, we're going to turn it right back on. And it's going to bring up a window to put you in repair mode. And this is what you need to get into to do this trick. So we're going to do that now. So the first thing you're going to do is reboot the computer. That's easy. Down at the bottom right, you're going to click the up arrow. And then you're going to click on restart. Now this is a virtual machine. It's not a physical machine. So I'm going to simulate a power off at this point. Boom. Now you see me go back to my desktop. Now I'm going to start it back up so you can see it powering on. Okay. It's going to power on and it's going to come to this window. You're going to hit the enter key on your keyboard. And it's going to go through this process. Now, I'm not going to make y'all wait through it. I'm going to speed it up, but this process is going to take a while. And essentially, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking advantage of a security flaw in Windows 7. So go ahead and stick around for a second. I'll speed it up and show you what to do next. Okay, so this is the part that we were waiting on. This is where all the magic is done. Once you get here, you're going to click the down arrow for View Problem Details. And you're going to scroll all the way down until you get to this link that has a TXT file. This is where we take advantage of the security vulnerability. So you're going to click on this link, and you're thinking, oh, it's just a text file. No, no, no. You can get access to all of the files on your computer this way. So what you're going to do is you're going to click File, then you're going to click Open, then you're going to click on Computer, and look, there's our drives. Now, I only have one drive, so the C drive, as you can see, it's only 100 meg. So that's not my drive. But the D drive that's 50 gig, that's my actual C drive. So when I double click on it, hey, look, here's my stuff. So I can go in here, go to my test one, and then go to my pictures, and look. If I change this to all files, look, now I can see my pictures. But that's not what we're going for. So when we go back, we're going to go into what should be our operating system drive, which is normally C, but it might be, depending on how many drives you have, D, E, F, etc. So make sure you know how big that drive is. And then we're going to go into Windows. We're going to scroll down in Windows until we get to System 32. This is the folder that we want to go to. Once we get in here, once we get in here, as you can see, there's a lot to scroll through. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to scroll all the way down to the U's. Scroll up a little bit until we find this file right here, utilman. So we're going to do something with utilman, and we're going to rename it, and we're going to replace it with another file. So we're going to rename utilman to utilman1. We're doing this because we want to back up this file. We don't want to get rid of it, and you might want to undo this change afterwards. So you know, it makes it that much harder for someone else. You don't want to make this easy if they find this on the web. Now, after we rename that, we want to go up to the C's, and there's a lot of C's, as you can see. And we're looking for CMD right here. So we don't want to change CMD to utilman, but what we do want to do is we're going to right click, we're going to copy, and then in an empty white space area, we're going to right click and we're going to paste. And look, it's going to paste a copy. Guess what we're going to do? We're going to rename that to utilman. And that's it. utilman. That's it. That's all we want to do. Now that we've done that, we're going to click cancel. We're going to close this. We're going to close this. And then we're going to click cancel because we're going to restart the computer. Now the computer is going to come up to this window as normal, and you're like, okay, but how do I get into my password? Here's the secret sauce. Okay, so you're asking yourself at this point, how am I going to get into my PC, and what the hell did I just do to it? So we have this other little button on the left-hand side. This is usually the ease of access button. It's where you can do things like turn on speech to text and stuff like that for people who may have disabilities. Well, we just changed this button to CMD. So when we click on it, now we're going to bring up the command prompt. And once we do that, we're going to type in control space user passwords 2. And we're going to hit enter. And look, now we can see all of our users. And this is the user we're trying to get into right here, test 1. So what are we going to do with test 1? Well, you can uncheck this box right here that requires, you know, a password, or you can reset the password to something simple. You can click OK. You can click OK again. You can click the X. And you can type that password in. And now you're back in your computer. You can get to your pictures. You can get to your videos. You can get to your documents, everything that's important to you, and you can copy it off to a USB stick. And that's it. That's all there is to it. So I hope you found this video useful. If you want to see something like this for Windows 8 and Windows 10, let me know down in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll make more content like this to help you if you're trying to get into, you know, a computer you forgot the password to. This has been Ask a Nerd TV. I know with the coronavirus and stuff like that going on right now that things have gotten like really crazy. We're in a second wave. So whatever you do, you know, make sure you're wearing your mask, make sure that you're washing your hands frequently for at least 20 seconds, and just most importantly, make sure you're staying safe. Thanks again. Have a good one.